guys, how's it going? Quick little intro here. Today's video is a special one. The video coming up is actually a video I filmed last November for one of my school classes. It was a communications class, but it was primarily like speech. And we had to give a lot of speeches in that class. And we were told to give a speech on someone that inspires us. And my grandma is my biggest inspiration, and I really look up to her, and she's really an amazing woman, and she's taught me a lot in my life. This video was filmed November 2019, so I look a little different, and it was filmed, since it was a video for school, it's filmed like very proper. So, you know, usually my YouTube videos, they aren't as, you know, super proper as this one. I had to film it a certain way, I had to talk a certain way, but everything I wrote was completely me, and it was just talking about her, and I hope you guys enjoy. I'm putting this video up here so that it never gets lost, because this video, I know when I showed it to my grandma, it made her really happy, and honestly, I wouldn't take back anything I said. I still mean everything I said in this video coming up. Like I said, I love my grandma. She's the best grandma in the whole world. Make sure to like and subscribe, guys. I hope you guys enjoy. Hello. Today, I want to commemorate someone very special to me. She is a mentor, a role model, and a friend. Today, I want to commemorate my grandmother. Her name is Maria Rueda. How do I even begin to explain what an amazing woman my grandmother is? First, I want to say she's talented, and she's a very, very good teacher. When I was just 8 years old, she taught me how to sew clothes for my dolls, and now I can make sock monkeys from total scratch. Next, I want to say my grandmother has great character. She tells me that through her whole life, she's never abused drugs or alcohol, and it's clear that this is the case because she's almost 70 years old and she's in outstanding health. She has her occasional backache every now and then, just like everyone, but overall she's a very, very healthy woman because she takes care of herself. Next, she is strong. Throughout the course of my grandmother's life, she has had many experiences, and to say the least, not all of them have been the best. But despite everything that my grandmother has went through, she always has a smile on her face, and she lives her life in a positive and uplifting way. Next, she is forgiving. Growing up, my grandmother had a very rough childhood. Her mother was very overprotective and controlling, and instead of letting this make her bitter as she got older, decades and decades later, when my great-grandmother was very old, my grandmother took her to live with her, to take care of her, because she started to get frail and she was getting old and starting to get really sick. And when she couldn't take care of her on her own in her house anymore, my grandmother that is, she put her in a nursing home. And every single day she went to that nursing home and she bathed her and she took care of her and she spent time with her. My great-grandmother was really sick. She had Alzheimer's, Parkinson's. She was forgetting who she was. She couldn't talk for many years. And even though this was the case, my grandmother still went and took care of her because that was her mother. And I remember between the ages of 7 and 14, whenever I would spend time with my grandmother, we would go to the nursing home and I would be coloring at one of the tables or watching TV in one of their like little hobby rooms that they have, and while my grandma would just go and just take care of her mom because she cared about her so much. And I remember then when I was younger, and even now, she tells me that she did that because she didn't want to have any regrets in the way that she treated her mother, and she didn't want to have any regrets in her life about that. And I think her doing this really shows who she is as a person. Next, she is unfazed. My grandmother lives her life in such a way that she doesn't let anyone put her down or take advantage of her. She knows who she is, and that's enough for her, and I really admire that about her. Lastly, and one of the most important things about my grandmother, I think, is that she is loving and compassionate. My grandmother has been there for me when no one else has. A couple years ago, I was in a very difficult place in my life, and my grandma was the first one to step up and be by my side. Whenever I'm sad, she always has the right things to say to cheer me up. She is selfless and loving. She always puts others before herself. She always encourages me to be myself. The things and conversations I have with my grandmother, I don't think I could have with anyone else. When I'm in need of someone to vent to or someone to just talk to about anything, or even when I just am in the mood for a laugh, I can always count on my grandmother. The last and final thing that I really appreciate about her is that I can talk to her about absolutely anything, and she won't judge or criticize me. She always listens with an open ear, ready to give the best advice possible whenever I need it. She is accepting of me as a person. My grandmother is amazing. This is her.